Donald Trump made one of his typically dunderhanded remarks today, which you can always count him for. I mean, when he's president, you can never have a tragedy strong enough, whether a natural disaster, a shooting, anything else, where you couldn't expect Donald Trump to just jump right in your nightmare. The water's warm. He'd always be there to make things worse. And, just because he's not president doesn't mean he still doesn't have that talent. Going on a radio show, I believe of fake PhD holder and former joiner of Nazi Cross organization, Hungarian organization that is a direct descendant of neo-Nazis, Seb Gorka, who served as a major member of the Trump administration. He interviewed him today about the fact that Trump is speaking at the NRA convention in Houston days after the Uvalde slaughter. The slaughter of kids from policies that Trump and his Republican buddies like Seb Gorka, because this is actually a national security issue when your citizens are being murdered by domestic terrorists and by those who are mentally ill and others that have easy access to the kind of weaponry that can take out a room. He asked Trump about it. The thing about Trump is that gets you in these situations, and my friend Bob Seska got it right on Twitter talking about this, is he gets a sick thrill out of this. You could see it at his rallies when he would say, just beat the crap out of him, when somebody was protesting. Like he has this gross sort of, it's a turn on for him. It's a disgusting turn on for this man to talk about violence, to see violence. Like he gets off on it. It's really disturbing. It's not even just an emotionless reaction. It's sort of an emotional, excited reaction. You saw it on January 6th when he was watching on the TVs what was going on in that makeshift little tent or wherever they were. He and Donnie Jr., the animal killer, and Ivanka, 30 trademarks from China, and the rest of the gang. He looked viscerally sort of pleased with the attack on the Capitol. It led to a police officer dying and others committing suicide and many being stabbed and speared and beaten and stomped and injured. So what do you say to Seb Gorka about his NRA speech tonight? Here's what he said. Interesting time to be making such a speech, frankly. You have to give that Second Amendment great protection, because without it, we would be a very dangerous country. That's what this jack-off is saying in light of 19 children being massacred by a gun and 10, was it, more innocent Black Americans walking in their supermarket in Buffalo being gunned down, and others where there weren't even enough victims. I think there was one in between in Milwaukee, but I think there were only 4 or 5 people killed, and we don't talk about those anymore because it's not enough. This guy's worried about the Second Amendment because without it would be a dangerous country. It is a dangerous country. We've talked about that. We're the most dangerous of any high-income country, and when it comes to gun violence, Chile and Argentina are at roughly 50% of our level, and they're the 2 worst besides us. Everybody else is at like 40, 30, 20, 10% less of our level of gun violence because they've chosen to pass common sense gun laws because they understand what these weapons can do. But again, it's Trump sort of, we're still going to remember his great protection because he didn't even know what the Second Amendment is. He's never read the Constitution. And I always find this is an important time to remind people, this has nothing to do with the Second Amendment. The Second Amendment was a well-regulated militia in a time when we needed militias because we didn't have a standing army. And it made it so that states would not ever have to take guns away from people who could serve, able-bodied men, by the way, back then, who could serve in a militia to protect them. The federal government didn't have the right to do that. States actually did have the right. States could literally just come and take away your guns. That's all been lost, obviously, in the Supreme Court we got that overturned 200 years of precedent and invented an individual right to a gun that never existed in this country. And it's only when we finally take that on will we lessen the gun violence here. But to get back to Donald Trump, this viscerally just happy, it's a turn on. He's despicable and disgusting. And of course he's speaking at the NRA convention because that's where despicable and disgusting people naturally belong. Thanks for watching, guys. Please subscribe, please get notifications, like it, and leave a comment. Let us know what you think. Thanks for watching.